This is where the fun begins.
Hello there. How's it going?
Hey everyone, Hybrid Toy Reviews here, and today we are taking a look at the Star Wars The Black Series Holocomm Collection Darth Vader. Now, I know that this subline has a lot of haters, and you know what? I like the Holocomm Collection. I'm just gonna say it. The Holocomm Collection at least makes sense in universe because there are so many characters that appear in hologram, and people are getting so worked up over it being on a bounty hunter puck, and you know what? The idea is the figures are in translucent blue plastic, and if you don't like the LED base, light it up however you want. I mean, like, put some effort into your collection. You know, display it, whatever you want. But I'm really excited about this one. This is a character that I think definitely needs to be in hologram form, you know, looming over, you know, a holo table, you know, leering at, you know, strangling officers and stuff. And so it's just a really good addition to this subline, in my opinion. It makes a lot of in-universe sense to have him as a hologram, and I'm just super excited. So, all that said, let's go. There's a lot of changes in the Black Series going on lately, and the Holocomm Collection packaging is no different. It has lost its tapered side from the old packaging style, being a minor variation, but it is a variation, so we're going to talk about it like it's nice and fresh. You have your Black Series logo up above a big window showing Vader and his accessories off nicely. Darth Vader in blue, Holocomm Collection with a little light up symbol because the puck does light up. Warning, a bunch of info about putting batteries in it, which aren't even included. 4 Plus Hasbro, and the whole box has the indication of hologram static printed all over it around the edges. I really, really love that. It's really cool, and it's something they've carried over, and I'm glad that they have. Otherwise, it is basically the deluxe, wider packaging style. This side of the box features an image of Vader in hologram form, with some red Orbesh above him and Darth Vader down below. This side features your wraparound window, your wraparound blue stripe for the Holocomm line, Star Wars The Black Series. Around back, you have everything that you would expect to find on a figure box, being your Black Series logo, his name, a bio about Vader in varying languages, or just about receiving transmission from the dark side, my bad. It says it lights up, you got a picture of the figure on the stand, lit up, a little brighter than it really does, but whatever. Includes a data chip, hologram effect, and a bunch of legal stuff below that. The barcode, more legal stuff, and a hanger tab up top. So, everything that you would expect to find in a Black Series box, nothing to write home about here. Let's open them up and see what you get. So here's Holocomm Darth Vader out of the packaging. As always, we're going to start by taking a look at the accessories. So, for starters, we'll take a look at the Holocomm Puck accessory. This was the same that we saw in Wave 1. It is a very nice looking recreation of the Holocomm, or the like the Bounty Hunters pucks from The Mandalorian. And even if you didn't know that was the reference, it still just looks like something that would project a hologram, and that is A-okay. It has a bunch of LEDs. You can see through the hazy white plastic top screen. It's got some nice little vents sculpted in there. It's even got some Orbesh text in there on the board, which is just like, it's above and beyond. It has these indentations of screws or buttons or whatever all around, one of which actually functions. If you press the button for 1 second, it lights up. Looking dead in, you'll see that you have a blue one in the center and then white ones all around, and they all flicker and pulse, which gives it the illusion of being a hologram when you have the figure on top. It will run for about 15 seconds when you do that. When you just give it a one push, there you see they fade out. If you press and hold until it lights up, there you go, it's going to run for 30 minutes, which is awesome and probably too long and will definitely kill your batteries in it if you do that too often. But if you did want to put it in the background on display and let it run for a little bit, that would definitely be the way to do it. You push the button and it will shut off instantly then, no matter what. Talking about batteries, looking underneath, there is your battery door. You just pull that screw to open it, and it takes 3 AAA batteries, and you use a Phillips head screwdriver to open it. So that is the function there. It comes with this sign. Now, typically, pegs in, and typically, because it was originally like a bounty puck, the gimmick was it would say, you know, wanted, and then give you like a price. This doesn't say wanted. This says join the Empire. So for Vader here, they seem to be running with Imperial propaganda, and that's okay. I like the idea of this. I like the idea of it just being a variation on the line, and that's all right. Looking at the top, there are 2 foot pegs. They peg into the foot of the figure, and they help the figure stay on nice and secure. I personally don't like how they run these diagonal. I wish they ran them straight across. That's just my personal preference. It makes it a little bit awkward to pose and certain things, but you can always just have one foot pegged and the other loose, too. You can have the feet, side by side back there if you like. So it's just a preference, because the one thing is, there's only one spot to peg in the sign. So if you have the sign pegged in, and then you want the figure facing, like in this orientation like it is right now, your foot's going to be like underneath on the brim, underneath this, like cocking it off to the side a little bit, making it hard to peg in. We'll talk about that a little bit later on. But that is, in summary, the entirety of the Holocomm puck. Setting that aside, looking at Vader, the figure's accessory, he does come with his lightsaber in Holocomm format. It has a very clear touch of blue blade, and then it has a frosted clear touch of blue hilt. No paint going on here, but it is just the Darth Vader lightsaber hilt. As is standard with the ordinary figure, you can just pull the blade out and hang the saber on his belt if you choose to do so. That's not a bad option, and it is just the accessory that we've seen before. Looking at the figure, this is not a new Darth Vader in any sense other than the coloring. This Darth Vader is the A New Hope Vader, which they reused for the Kenobi series with basically no new parts. So I guess it's the Kenobi one because he has the butterfly joints going on there. So it features the underrobe going over the shoulder pads, which I don't like, but that is how the costume was, like in A New Hope, and I guess they did it for Rogue One. I'm blanking if they did it on Kenobi or not. But I've always liked the fabric under the armor, because at that point, like, it's not even protecting it. So I don't totally get it. But that was just the costume choice. He is a clear, touch of blue plastic. The cloaks and capes are a very, very light blue material, but they do let you see through. They have a bit of opacity to them, so I think they're going to end up catching the light very nicely on the Holocomm puck, and I'm just really excited to see this lit up. I will say none of the Holocomm figures light up all the way to the head, just warning you now. By the time that the light gets up there, it's gone through, legs and chest and arms, and it's getting pretty dim. It's how action figure cabinet lighting goes and everything else. It's just the way of the world. Light does not go through things very well, even if they're clear. So, looking at them, it's hard to say much. There's, it's a reused sculpt with zero paint on it. I've always felt they could use like white or light blue, and to just make certain things like chest buttons pop, or like eyes, if you wanted to like paint the eye lenses, because then it would catch the light in a different way. But they've just elected to not do that. He's just blue plastic, but again, it's trying to recreate a look. It's trying to recreate an aesthetic, and I'm totally here for it. So I guess because it's been a minute since I've done a Vader on the channel, I might go ahead and run you through the articulation. That might be the move at this point, because it's just like, what do you do? I do like the material and I do like the look, but it's a blue Darth Vader. Come on. Features a ball jointed head, which allows him to look that far up, that far down, side to side, all the pivot you want. His arms come out to a T-pose. The shoulder pads kind of go up into the shoulder pads go up over like the collar armor. And then there's a butterfly joint in there that has a nice bit of range to it. 360 degrees at the shoulders. Single jointed elbows come to 90 degrees, or better than 90 degrees, and swivel, my bad. 360 degrees on the wrist, with the left hinging in and out, and the right also hinging in and out. I'd hate to have Darth Vader do something menacing, like point his lightsaber at someone, right? He can crunch that far forward at the waist, that far back. He gets him side to side, a bunch of pivot. The legs go side to side and straight forward, not much back. There's an upper thigh rotation. He has double jointed pinned knees, because even when they make a new Vader, they reuse the old legs, but that does give you a good range. I'll give it that. And then the feet can go straight down, a little bit forward, and there's a forward facing pin for rocker, allowing you to get some decently wide stances with both feet flat on the ground. Let's get them stood back up again, draped up nice. There we go. And just finished talking about him as a figure. I will say it's an old sculpt, so we know that he is, relatively big when he's not laying down. But just to give you an idea of scale, here he is next to an Imperial Stormtrooper that stands at about 6 inches tall. So as you see, Vader's about 6.5, 6 3/4 inches tall, and that is very accurate. Now, I'm going to go ahead and take him to a much less lit location and give you a look at him on the stand, because I will just say, lit up now, it catches the light a little bit, but these guys really do look their best in low lighting. So let's go there. Here's Holocomm Darth Vader in the linen closet, nice and dark, but it gives you a good idea of how the light travels through. You basically get no light in the head, and it's just the nature of these things. They look all right, but you're never going to get anything to light up just like a hologram in Star Wars does. It's just not possible in a figure form. But I do give Hasbro an A for effort. It is a valiant effort. So at the end of the day, what do I think of Holocomm Darth Vader? I'm going to be honest, it's cool. I don't dislike this line. As I said in the beginning, I think the Holocomm figures are fun. The execution isn't completely there. There's a part of me that wonders what would change if maybe they changed out the blue LED on the base for a white one, since the figure's in a blue tint of plastic anyway. So, like, it's not like it would look white, you know, it would look blue because you're illuminating a blue, you know, piece of plastic with a white LED, so you're going to keep that color. And it would just, a white LED would be the brightest possible thing. It wouldn't make it look like holograms in the movies do. There's no way to do that. But it's definitely an experiment that I would like to maybe see them try on a future wave, at least to get a little bit more light going on in the heads, because that's just something with all these figures. I will say Vader appeared dimmer than the other ones I have, which is Han Solo and Bo-Katan. Those are also shorter figures, which means that there's less travel going on, and as mentioned in the size comparison, he's accurately scaled, which means that everyone else is shorter than him. So it's got to go even further on a Vader, which is going to make it just harder to accomplish. But all the same, I do think that it is a really cool display, and I'm really happy to have them on my shelf. I get if they're not for you, but honestly, the people that are non-stop bashing on anything that's not mainline. We can't have Carbonized, which Carbonized got pretty rough there in the end, but we can't have Credit Collection. We can't have this. Them doing a blue-tinted Darth Vader does not mean that you're not getting your Cantina aliens. You're not getting all the Cantina aliens you want because they go to Ollie's. That's the reason that that's going on. But people see this and they think that they're being robbed and we're getting this instead. This is happening in addition to what was going to happen. If they knocked out all the Holocomm, we wouldn't be getting another mainline wave in the year. So it's just what it is, but people will never hear it and people will never understand it. But I like it. I think it's all right. I'm happy I have it. And I think that if it's something that doesn't enrage you by merely existing, you'll probably like it too. So that's it for now. Thanks a bunch for watching. It means a lot that you did. If you enjoyed, you should leave a like, comment, subscribe, all that end of video stuff. I'll catch you next time. Until then, may the Force be with each and every one of you, and goodbye.